Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Immersion's Deep Dive Podcast. I'm McKenna, and today I'm joined with some new faces, so you guys can introduce yourselves.
I'm Amira, and I'm a junior at Leesville High School.
I'm Amanda, and I'm a sophomore at Leesville Road High School.
So, we're so excited to be back for our next episode today. We have a fun little topic and discussion planned, so we can just get right into our topic.
All right. Our topic today is the topic of friendship. As teenagers, our lives often revolve around our social circles and our social lives. So we decided to discuss friendships and how our friendships may impact us.
Today's scripture comes from Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9, through which it reads, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up."
Okay, guys, so we got our topic introduced and our scripture read, so now we can just get into our questions. So, start off, do you consider yourself to be a social person?
Most definitely.
I am.
I would say so, unless I'm tired. But other than that,
You have a social battery.
I know. I have
a social battery.
I don't. I'm shy.
I have a social
I
battery.
literally go all day until
Past 9:30. Don't talk to me.
After 8:30 for me, I check in. No, but I think I thrive off of social interaction.
Me too.
And then sometimes it just is so draining that I just want to be in my house by myself and not interact with anybody.
I like being outside.
No, some days I need to be in my house. Just in my bed, just
Chilling.
by
Yes.
myself.
By myself.
It's so much better.
But do you guys find it easy to make new friends?
I do.
I would say.
Typically.
Yeah.
Only hard part is when they're already have been friends for a while.
And then you
go
have to
somewhere and
fit
you have to fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Joining
that's
new
just,
friend groups
weird.
is hardest, probably.
Yeah, but I think I'm really good at if I'm just in any social situation, I can just talk to random people and make friends pretty easily. That did not used to come easy for me, but I think as I've gotten older, I feel in most scenarios, nobody's not going to want to make a friend. Anybody, especially at school, if you just talk to somebody, they're not gonna don't talk to me, because who doesn't want to meet anybody new?
Yeah. And if they do, you can tell early on, and it's not it's a quicker interaction.
Yeah,
it's okay, they want to leave alone.
Don't
and you
talk
just keep
to them.
on.
But
Keep on.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy. Well, for me, I think it's easy, but I understand the pressure of making new friends sometimes, because sometimes you go to a situation and it feels kind of
forced.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable to make new friends. So I think that's where the challenge comes. But for the most part, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Well, what traits do you guys think define a good friend?
Loyal.
That's a good
I
one.
feel like it
Who
depends
stays
on the
true.
person, because for me, I like friends who are super talkative.
Same.
I don't know, but I have friends that are quiet, but usually when we're out together and stuff, it'll be hard sometimes. I have some friends that I'll take anywhere, I don't even know where we could be going. It's hey, you want to come hang out? Sure.
Yeah.
And then I have some friends that I have to tell them the plan, tell them where we're going, make sure they're comfortable, because I don't want to take my friends somewhere and they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I've had friends and we'll go out and we won't talk to each other, but it's not we aren't we're just both super social, and so we go out and we make new friends, and then we'd I don't know, sleep over that night. And then I have friends where I'll go out and I'll be social and they're just kind of
attached.
Yeah. And so I feel bad taking the places. So I feel it depends on what you want in a friend.
And on your own personality. So you're outgoing, so you're gonna want a friend.
I like having a
that's
variety though.
Yeah, variety
types.
is good. A variety
Because sometimes
is good.
if I'm overwhelming, I have an
I
outgoing
know, and
personality.
it's weird to be in a group with 100% social people,
Yeah.
because y'all all are all trying to talk over each other.
it's a
It
lot.
doesn't go well sometimes. So it's nice to have a variety.
Yeah, but I
It
also
balances out.
I think the level of comfort you can feel around a person really defines them as a good friend. Because some people you'll get around them and you don't feel like you could act yourself around them.
Mhm.
But then some people you can immediately open up to and you're really comfortable around them. So that's really important to me. And then I would say dependability. If I know that I can depend on you and I can turn to you when I'm having a tough situation, that's really important to me.
Yeah, I agree.
What can be hard for you what's a challenge that comes to you when it comes to friendships?
Maintaining them.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, maintaining them is weirdly hard, because I have some friends where they want me to talk to them every day, and if I don't, they think something's wrong.
You don't want to be their friendly anymore.
And then I have some friends that get annoyed when you talk to them
every day.
Yes, and so finding those friends, and then also hanging out with them, because I don't drive yet.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my friends don't drive yet. And they may stay in Nightdale, and parts of Nightdale are 45, 30 minutes away from me. And it's like during the school year, trying to find a weekend that we're both free. During the week is no-go, like busy. So definitely maintaining it and like still talking and knowing, like not knowing who to talk to, but like having a lot of friendships. It's like, oh, do I FaceTime such and such tonight? Do I talk to such and such tonight? So just definitely maintaining them.
I agree. I'd probably say maintaining them, especially like the long distance ones, like the people you grew up with, but like most of the people you like grow up with, you don't live near anymore. Yeah, and so it's like hard to like keep connections with them.
Yeah, and I also, like, this is going to sound bad, but I'm not, like, if I haven't talked to somebody in a while, I'm not really the person who's going to reach out first. Like, I would rather wait for somebody to reach out to me first, and so that's where it comes, like, a lot of my friendships might drift because neither one of us, like, reach out to each other. But then when you see them, it's like, oh, like, and you, like, reconnect. But that's probably
the seeing them, that's the hard part. Like, I have gone probably, like, one of my friends I didn't see for, like, months, like, I didn't see one of my friends for like a whole year and some change. And then another one, it was months. So it's just like, and it's not really our fault. It's like we both have schedules. We're both super far. And COVID didn't help either. Yeah. Like, it was like, my mom was like, okay, you have this group of friends. Like, try and keep it in this bubble. And then it's like, you made new friends, but it's like, you're not really in my bubble. I don't. And like, I know they're everywhere outside, not quarantining. So I'm like, and then my brother, I'm like, do I want to risk my family? So it was definitely hard during COVID.
COVID was definitely challenging, especially for like because COVID happened during my freshman year, so like a lot of my friendships were still new at the time. So like maintaining those friendships is really challenging.
The virtual part and not being in a classroom. I don't even know how people.
I don't have any friends from virtual classroom.
No, me neither.
Like the people who talked during like class online were actually kind of annoying. It was like we're trying to go to sleep. We're trying to get through the class.
I'm trying to eat my food.
Right. And we had that 2-hour lunch, so I'm like, let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
let's wrap it up.
Like ask questions in the chat.
I didn't like it though sometimes because they would carry the class because they would answer all the questions. Because my teacher used to do this thing. She would go in class dojo and she would do random. And if you got called on one, then you have to answer. But those kids that like carried the whole class, like I got respect for them because you let me sleep.
It's weird because I'll have class with them and then we'll be like talking and be like, oh yeah, I had such and such last year. Like me too. I was like,
you had no idea.
You had no idea.
That happened to me.
And no one turned on my cameras.
No one never turned on my camera.
I'm like, what period did you have? Like second, I'm like, me too. I was like, we were in the same class. I'm like, I guess so.
One of my best friends now, I had 2 classes with her virtual.
And had no idea.
I had no idea who she was until last year. And I was like, wait, you had these classes? I had no idea. Like, and then my teacher last year was one of my virtual teachers, and he didn't know that I was in his class because it was virtual. I don't know.
It's awkward because I'll see them, I'm like, do I wave? Because they probably aren't going to remember me. And so I'm like, I'm just like walking by. Miss Benz is the only teacher.
Miss Benz is like, I recognize that last name.
Yeah, it's the last name because we'll have the same teachers. She's like, yeah. And they're like, is that your sister? I'm like, yeah. It's like, this is my first time seeing you. I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely maintaining friendships is the biggest challenge for me.
Right.
But do you guys think that it's important to have Christian friends?
Yeah.
I share the same beliefs. You can talk about it with them.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to like if you're asking for advice for something or like you need support through something. I think if your like closest friends are Christian, the advice that they'll give to you will be different than like people who maybe not have the same like beliefs or morals as you. Yeah. And then also, but I also think it's important not to have like all of your friends share the same.
Nice to have a variety.
Yeah.
Of different like religions and stuff. It's kind of interesting actually. Because like it's just like different because they'll be like fasting or doing this at different times. Yeah. It's like we do the same thing sometimes, but it's like different times and different like methods of it. So
and
it's kind of cool to see.
We're at the age where politics are a big deal, but like I've seen adults who will like completely like shun and like ignore people. But like in high school, you're in a classroom filled with every type of person, and it's like you can take time out of your day to ignore and do this and that. But at the end of the day, we're all in high school. We're all just trying to graduate.
It's definitely necessary to be like exposed to different types of things.
You learn different stuff.
How are you going to like strengthen your faith if you're never exposed to any like outside perspectives? I think. But yeah, I think it's important to have Christian friends.
And it's good to be educated on different beliefs.
Yes.
Like so you want to be like, oh, you do that, or like it's nice to know like when you see something. Oh, yesterday I learned about why the Jewish people wear a little thing on their head. At first, I was like, I didn't really understand it, but it's like, you know how Muslims wear like hijabs, like the women? That's kind of what it's like for like Jewishes. It's like, I realized that yesterday because I was like, I never like really understood why they wore it. It just seemed like, and they wear it 100% of the time. Like I have a kid in school and he had to wear a hat one day and he wore it under his hat. I was like, I respect it.
Yeah. I feel like it definitely introduces you to more as well. And I feel like you can help other people. Like I have a lot of friends that aren't Christian and I'll be friends with them. They're like, nobody's ever told me that. Or like, they'll be like, that's not what I would have thought. I'm like, yeah, you know, like you don't have to fight whenever somebody says they don't like your shoes. you can just ignore them. Like you can walk away, you know, you can, like you actually can do that. Like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm like surprised. So yeah. Also, I feel like they teach you stuff, but it also lets you, like, it teaches you to see more perspectives.
Yes.
Like, because I feel like a lot of people will say, oh, just do this, just do that. And people are like, so you want me? And it's like a big jump for them. But if you can understand where they're coming from, I feel like you can meet people like where they're at, you know, and like take baby steps to help them like come closer to God or become like a better person, you know. Like some people telling them like, you know, like a lot of drama and a lot of problems are in our generation, you know, like a lot of fighting, a lot of this, a lot of that. And so like a lot of people like, oh, you don't have to always argue back is like a big deal to them. But I don't know, if you tell them like, hey, something small, like, okay, maybe don't post it on Instagram. Like maybe keep it out of social media. Just try it. Like just for once, just ignore it. It'll be going in 24 hours. And then it's like, that's like a small thing, but it could have a big impact.
Especially for someone who's willing to, like who's like actually interested in going closer with God. Like it's nice to be there for them. Like not even like, it's like be their friend, not really. Even if they're not your friend, like it's nice to be there to like guide them.
Yeah.
I think that leads right into our next question, which is, do you think friendships can help strengthen relationships with God? And I think absolutely. And then like even for you as a Christian, I think if you have other Christian friends, it can be like really inspiring if you see like other people that are strong in their faith and that are like active in their relationship with God, and it makes you want to be a better Christian as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And, like I always try to like post little like scriptures and like songs in my stories and stuff, because even if nobody like listens to it, I feel like at least one person will like get something out of it, and so if that can help somebody strengthen their relationship with God, I feel like it's important. Also,
I feel like a lot of stuff you can do can be godly without like every time you say it, it's like, oh, this is for God, this is a Christian, this is this, that. Like a lot of stuff people do
it's just, like,
is godly characters, right? They just don't have to necessarily like say every time they help somebody out, oh, this is a Christian thing to do, it's a Christian thing to do. Sometimes you can just like lead by example. Yeah, you can lead by example. You can just do it. And you know you're doing it for God. They may not know like right now that they're doing it, like it's a Christian thing to do, but you know, just like baby steps, you know, helping people get closer to God one step at a time.
Just how like mom and dad say, like carrying ourselves in like a godly way.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't like say it, you just like
you just do it.
It's reflex.
Yeah.
It's the way like is the way you reflect onto other people. They'll know if you carry yourself the same way.
Right.
Yeah. I think that was a really good discussion. So what things can you like take from this little discussion?
I would definitely take from, make sure you have a variety of friends, but make sure you still have like your Christian grounded friends, and don't be afraid to make friends with people who don't share the same beliefs as you. You know, like, oh, they're gonna influence me bad, this and that. Like if you're a grounded person and you know what's good and what's bad, I feel like you can have friends with different beliefs, and don't be afraid to teach them your beliefs and like show them your ways or show them the right way per se. So
I would say like the way you carry yourself can reflect your faith, whether you realize it or not. That's like a really important thing.
I agree. I would say also carrying yourself in like a godly manner can like tell other people that you are Christian or like that without even having to say it. And also again, like staying close with people, or not even close, just associating with people from different like beliefs and cultures, just to like get like a variety of like information and like about different people, because it's nice to know about other. It's like good to be like very educated in your own belief, but it's also really important to know about other beliefs, because like you live in like the U.S. and that has like a variety of every type of person, so it's good to like know stuff.
Well, guys, thank you for joining the podcast today.
thanks for having us.
Again, I'm McKenna.
I'm Amira.
I'm Amanda.
And thanks for joining us for the Deep Dive Podcast.
We wait.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.